Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world.
Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the Kindness Project. I'm joined by two blokes here at the end. This is our final normal episode.
The universe.
Yeah, we're just sitting on the ledge at the end of time, swinging our little legs.
What can you see, though, Charlotte? What
bright horizon
in front at the end of the universe?
Yeah.
I mean, talking about that, as we're recording these, it's also Doctor Who is back, and
have you been watching it, Russ?
I have.
What did you think, Russ?
I didn't think that much on this week's one.
I thought it was genuinely creepy. I mean, literally, I've had Sophie, who's now 12, standing at the end of our lounge, because we've got quite a long lounge, and going, Dad, my arms are long. And then doing a bear crawl all the way down the lounge, like. And if you haven't seen the episode, number one, why not?
That's unfortunate.
and number two, this week was one of the genuinely scary weeks of Doctor Who. What did you think, Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of as soon as I finished watching the episode, I immediately went on Tumblr and was like, okay, what are people saying about it?
And what were people saying on Tumblr?
Some people were like, those special effects were dodgy.
They was.
Yeah, there was. And some people were like, this is honestly one of the scarier episodes, like putting it up there with like Blink and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't think Blink was that scary. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean,
what one was Blink? The Angels.
Yeah, one of the first Angel ones. I think it was the first Angel one of
I
the
thought
new.
they were good. The Angel ones.
The Angel ones are always good, to be fair. Like, the Angels in Manhattan one is, I think, genuinely sad. Like, it's a genuinely sad episode of television, from start to end, basically.
But here's where I'm with it, right? The best Doctor Who episodes, the scary ones, aren't about the special effects, right?
No,
They're psychologically scary.
Yeah, it's about the concepts, yeah.
It's about the concepts. So the one that I'd say is really, really scary is called Midnight. And if you haven't seen it, look it up. And it's about, again, very similar in terms of the concept. It's about this external force trying to copy everything you're doing. And I just think that's just creepy. You know, trying to duplicate.
You must feel like that all the time then, because as you've explained previously, that I copy most of the things you do. So you must feel that all the time.
That's the point I was going to make, Russ. Because look, I get a pair of glasses. Suddenly, you're wearing glasses.
That's right. Wait a minute. That ain't me eyesight. These are just glass.
There's no glass in them, Russ. I can see. They are trick glasses. I'm going to literally, when you come down next week, and just out of the kindness
of my on Amazon, 99p.
One episode
I focus a bit more on my fitness and exercise. Guess what Russ is doing?
That's right. Totally right.
Do you know how many copies? Charlotte, he copies everything I do. And you know what I reckon? I reckon he does that because he still feels guilty, Charlotte, about putting a stick in my BMX when I was 8 and me falling over my handlebars.
Oh, yeah.
That is what he's trying to do.
I'm disappointed it was a ballad this time and not a
Charlotte.
It was disappointed it went over a ballad this time and not me stick.
Well, that was as I said last week. that thought I fell over a bollard, and yes, I did slip on the ice last week. But I fell over a bollard 3 years ago. I installed some proper light. I've got proper lights on my new bike, and I'm wearing a helmet every day. Wear a helmet, kids, if you're on the bike. But you know what, as well. I haven't. Nobody's put a stick in me wheel spokes
No.
this time. Because that isn't a kind thing to do, is it, Charlotte?
No, it isn't.
No, you know what episode I think is like underrated in terms of scary?
Sorry,
if
are we not focusing on the fact that Russell is trying to copy my life? I mean, I'm waiting for him to propose to my mum, to your mum at some point. I mean, genuinely.
Propose to your mum, that'd be no different
If
matter.
he comes to the Zoom call, Charlotte, and goes, by the way, I'm adopting you, be afraid. It's like this. It's like one of those movies where, like, he just slowly, like. I mean, the problem is he's got access to all my emails. I mean, he could literally take over my digital life.
I know your banking details, everything. I could literally live your life. You wait until you see the next stunt I pulled out. I've legally changed my name, and when I get my passport out to go Italy, you're going to see I'm now Chris Dames.
Oh, just imagine the Italian passport control. Chris Dames? We've just had Chris Dames. Yeah, we're both Chris Dames.
that's how we met, actually. You know, it's a funny coincidence.
It's the Chris Dames Club.
Yeah.
It's the Chris Dames Club. So anyway, what did you think of the Doctor Who episode?
I really liked it. I really liked the last one as well. The bit at the end of the new one, just
Will,
my little art.
knowing he's. I mean, if you don't know, listeners, I always say this, Charlotte, and I think we've spoken about it on the podcast before about Doctor Who. If you ask me who the best ever Doctor Who companion is, it's Bernard Cribbins, and it just breaks. You know what he makes? There's a lot of themes in Doctor Who, but the fact that he talks about war and destruction from a period of time when actually humans were destroying each other in the two world wars, and you can argue that it's happening now, but on a global scale, that was pretty extreme. And the impact of war is devastating. And I think having somebody act that out in a way that just comes across so authentically is brilliant.
I think also knowing that was like his last ever scene on anything.
Yeah. Charlotte, the fact that he came back to do it at the age of 93.
Yeah.
It's just, it would have been.
Do more.
Huh?
He was going to do more. There was more room for him in the script if he died before they got the chance to film it.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. I just seeing him there and seeing him turn that sparkle on at the it wasn't even a walk on superficial part. He only had a couple of lines and then he stole the end of the show, didn't he? But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I cannot wait until next week till we see the final episode, and then it's back Christmas Day with a new Doctor. So yeah, all good. Right.
I mean, I suppose by the time this one comes out, the third and final episode will be out by then.
Yeah, it will be. Out.
So
because we're gonna do one more, aren't we? So I think
no. By the time this episode of the Kindness Project comes out, The
Will be
final
out.
episode of the 60th anniversary will be out.
But yeah, that looks absolutely brilliant as well. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. On that note, let's move on to Kindness News. Can you give us the jingle, potentially one last time? Make it a good one.
Kindness news. News.
Very good. Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone's latest film, And, is renamed Kind of Kindness. The Poor Things duo reunite with William Dafoe and Margaret Qualley, plus the favourite actor Joe Alwyn, for their fourth collaboration together. And just like that, And has a new title. Yorgos Lanthimos' fourth collaboration with Poor Things muse Emma Stone has been renamed Kind of Kindness. So I'm not sure actually if this news article is actually about kindness, Russ. So, like, it's our last episode, and what you've done
Yeah,
is sent a link.
I'm gonna have to talk to the research team.
What's going on with the research team? They've just seen the word kindness and just thought that was kind of. It's got to be about an actual act of kindness, Russ. What is going on? Have a chat with
Hold
your
on.
researchers.
Move on to the next one. Move on to the next one.
Right, Poundland Bosch joins BRC call for kindness to shop workers at Christmas. Now, we were talking about that this last week, weren't we? Just like people doing fairly difficult jobs, just trying to make sure that you're kind to them. The MD of Poundland has joined the BRC, which I'm assuming is the retail consortium, is calling on the public to be kind and considerate to retail workers in this busy Christmas period. Along with UK hospitality, the BRC is calling for consideration as staff work extra hard to keep shelves stocked and drinks served. It follows a recent survey finding that in the last 12 months, 65% of retail staff experienced verbal abuse, and 42% have been threatened by a customer.
Yeah, it's pretty common. Yeah.
You know, the other stats I was surprised by is how many nurses are attacked.
I've had friends work at like the counter at McDonald's and they've had stuff chucked at them, like through open windows.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah.
Right, and now I'm pretty sure that if you're listening to the Kindness Project, you wouldn't do that. So, listeners, I don't need to tell you that that's poor behaviour, but as an antidote, if you're out and about, please be extra kind to the people who are helping us this Christmas, please. We'll do the same, won't we, guys?
Yeah.
Always do. Yeah.
Always do. As the clock counts down to Christmas Day, retail stores and websites will become increasingly busy. People in retail are working hard to look after customers, helping them find what they need, keeping shelves stocked and delivering goods. While tensions can run high, any mistreatment of our colleagues will not be tolerated. Confrontations, be it verbal abuse or physical assault, can take a huge toll on victims, their families and their colleagues. Tis the season to shop kind. And I'm going to end it there because I really think that we could do that. On that note, you know what? Actually, your research has done a good job on this because your researcher, because we haven't got a guest today.
See, they're the bits I done. The two kindness stories are the bits I done.
Oh, you're taking ownership of that.
I done them.
You're chucking your research under the bus for Article 1.
I am.
But you're turning around and going, the good bits I did, yeah?
See, it might be the way I taught the researcher how to do it, but yeah.
Okay. But what you've done, Russ, is, and we've talked a lot about nostalgia on the Kindness Project over the years.
Yeah.
And again, this will only apply for those who are in the UK. But news round, Russ. I remember John Craven in the 80s presenting. Was Newsround a big part of your life growing up, Charlotte?
They used to put it on at school when they didn't want to deal with us at times.
Do you know what I
Newsround was
was?
basically a babysitter, was it? Is that what you're telling us?
Well, we used to have towards the end, we used to have at secondary school, we used to have 2 tutorials a day, and the teachers literally like it was such a sudden change that
Newsround.
Channel
Yeah,
5
like-
on a Channel
Yeah.
5 on a Saturday night's been running UK's most favourite toys of the 80s series. Oh, I've been fascinated by some of the toys. So
you know what?
things that we grew up with.
Like
This
what?
might be a,
Well, they done the 70s series. You know what I was surprised to see on there? Rocks. So,
Rock?
no word of a lie, rocks. So I'll see if I
It was a tough time in the 70s, wasn't it? It was a tough.
I'll
it-
see
all the kids playing with in the
just
70s.
opening your Christmas present and finding a random
No,
rock.
they was rocks that were sold to people. I'll see if I can find them online.
To be
Yeah.
fair, Dad,
Rocks are
No,
sold.
do not buy. Please, Raz, do not buy rocks and light.
You know,
light.
we had Tamagotchi.
I've got a county park around the back of my house. We can go over and find some rocks. Don't worry.
they've
we-
got massive crates full of big rocks for us.
We had
If we can manage to get our
Tamagotchi.
hands through the bars.
Rocks. Anyway, there was stuff on there like Action Man, Barbie started sort of mid 80s. Yeah, loads of stuff like that.
Dad,
What was your favourite
Dad,
toy?
to be fair about the rocks though, every time we see a conker tree, you do go, "Oh yeah, we used to play with those."
Oh,
Every time.
And then there was
love a game of conkers.
then
Love a
they
game.
was, then they was telling the story of Lego, where it nearly went out of business and we wouldn't have Lego now. And then they stumbled upon sort of characters like Star Wars characters and that. And
It
how
all-
it sort of made all its money.
Well, I mean, Lego is the biggest creator of bricks in the world.
Lego was my go-to in the 80s
Yeah,
when I was little.
it was all Lego and rocks in your life, right? If it weren't Lego, it was rocks. For me, it was He-Man and Conkers.
Yeah.
How about for you, Charlotte?
See, you're asking me about my childhood, and I gotta be honest, I don't remember a lot of it. But one of like my earliest memories is being stuck in a tent at Camp Festival and being handed a Nintendo. At like 11.
Yeah.
So that was probably it
I
for me.
remember Camp Festival was brilliant, wasn't it? I remember chucking a baby out of a church window. Now that sounds wrong
Well, when
when
you
I
was
say it
little,
like that. Sorry.
No,
What do you
no, at
know?
Camp Festival. The baby was
Oh.
a Sophie.
So, effectively, let me tell the story. There was an inflatable church at this music festival we
Yeah.
used to go to, Russ. And it had a sort of a disco feel, a wedding disco feel. So you go in and they play wedding party songs. It's quite
Right.
a cool little place. Suddenly, the church starts to deflate, and the guy at the front says, "Everybody, quick, get out of the church." And I was holding the baby. I wanted to make sure the baby was safe. And the quickest way of making sure the baby was safe was chucking the baby out the window. And
I'm
not
glad
anyone-
you've added clarity to that, mate.
yeah, otherwise chucking babies out of church windows could be said as anyway.
Especially since most church windows don't open.
Yeah,
They're massive
they're
things. like-
stained glass things, yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't any glass or anything like that in it. Have you never chucked a baby through a window, Russ?
No,
No, I wouldn't
not one
recommend
of
it.
the things I've tried yet.
I wouldn't recommend it. I did it out of love, clearly. This Newsround article, it's World Kindness Day on the 13th of November. It was World Kindness Day, and every year on the 13th of November. It's a day to remind ourselves of the importance of being kind to others. But did you know, and I've talked about this, this is the last ever plug that I'm going to
Yeah.
do on the podcast about the Kindness Project book. People seem to love it, Russ, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So
It's available on Amazon.
I don't want to big myself up, but people seem to really enjoy the book.
I think more or less everybody we've spoke to, it's reminded that how important kindness is.
Well, in our busy lives, we can get frustrated and annoyed. It happens to us all, doesn't it? But remembering to, number one, be kind to herself, and in turn be kind to others. The book might just give you a really good reminder. So available on Amazon. Put the Kindness Project, Chris Dames, and you'll be able to find it virtually immediately. If you do read it, I'd love to know what you think. Feel free to get in touch and let us know. And please do leave a testimonial, because my mission with the Kindness Project is not to sell books, is not to, even though we've got a decent audience on the podcast, is not to get the biggest audience in the world. It's just to have a positive impact on people's lives by sharing stories of optimism and kindness. So if you can read the book and it makes your life better, and then you re-give the book to somebody else and it makes their life slightly better, I've done my tiny little bit to support you to do that. So if you can do that, please let me know. But let us know, leave a testimonial on Amazon. And remember that 100% of the money that we raise through the book goes to great causes. So please do that. Kindness can significantly improve our physical and emotional well-being. There's been scientific studies into the effects of kindness, showing that acts of kindness help your immune system, reduce stress, give you energy, and are good for your heart. The power of being kind goes even further. It's been proved to slow aging, improve relationships, and be contagious. Now, we said that talking about kindness and getting together once a week to share the stories of kindness has definitely improved our 3 relationships. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So why is kindness good for the heart? Kindness can change the chemicals in our body. Committing acts of kindness produce a hormone in the body called oxytocin, sometimes called the kindness hormone, and is a cardioprotective hormone, which is good for our hearts. Kindness is contagious. The positive effects of kindness are experienced in the brain of everyone. Whether you are giving, receiving, or observing kindness, this improves their mood and makes them significantly more likely to act kind themselves. So kindness creates a ripple effect that can improve the day of loads of people. One of the factors that plays a role in the aging process is oxidative stress, which is in an imbalance in your body. The scientists found that if you introduced oxytocin, the kindness hormone, to skin cells put under stress, the levels of oxidative stress get significantly reduced. Engaging in acts of kindness can also give us more energy. A study by the University of California, Berkeley, showed that people feel stronger and more energetic after helping others. Kindness also makes us feel happy. Alongside oxytocin, being kind also produces serotonin in the body, and this is called the happy chemical and has been found to heal your wounds, calm you down, and improve your mood. So there's loads and loads and loads of ways that kindness is good for you from a scientific perspective. My encouragement at the end of this final podcast, even though there's probably going to be one final one where we all cry and say goodbye, is please be kind to yourself and to others. Are we going to end with one final joke of the week?
Should be identity theft this week, shouldn't it?
On the note of kindness, we're going to talk about how Russell's copying my life.
Well, I've tried to find some jokes about kindness. So let's see if any of these are any good. Did you hear about the chef who made a whole batch of cookies for his neighbours? He wanted to spread the dough.
And on that note, that's the end of the kindness project. Tis the end.
Tis the end.
I'm getting a bit totes and mosh. Have a lovely day. Speak soon.
Love you guys.
Get out.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.